I'm sure you guys heard last night I almost killed somebody because I was sitting there having a drink after dinner, and then it was announced that LA is going to have a mask mandate. I just want to be very clear. I am not wearing a mask anymore, period. These people are all frauds and ridiculous buffoons. Gavin Newsom spent $15,000 at French Laundry at the height of this thing during lockdowns without a mask. And I don't know, what are they going to arrest me if I walk into a store as a young, healthy person and try to buy something? I mean, it's just completely ridiculous. There's no science behind it. That's my thoughts. Rogan, what do you think? Mask mandates back in LA. You're in Florida, so you're all right.
Yeah, I mean, we've been mask free for a long time. I was unfortunately kicked out of our recent CPAC event that we hosted in Florida in February because, it was in a blue county, Orange County, Orlando, which is heavily blue. Governor Ron DeSantis got rid of the statewide mask mandate. I lived in an area where it wasn't strongly enforced. And I went to that CPAC conference and I said, listen, this is Florida. We have to set the example. We're not mask drones. I got kicked out, not by CPAC, by high security. But, it's such a farce. I don't know how they keep playing this game when you see how open Florida is. We have concerts with 60,000 people and no spike in cases. So, and again, either the vaccine works or it doesn't. And if they're pushing this vaccine, if so many people, especially in bluer areas, have gotten the vaccine, why are they worried about what happens to anyone else? If they don't want the vaccine, that's their choice at this point.
Well, the new meme is not that it doesn't work, but that you will get a somehow lesser degree of COVID, especially related to the Delta variant. That's what they're telling us. David, has this all just taught you something about human nature that perhaps we all knew, but we were afraid to admit?
Yeah, we love to control others, or let's say there are some of us who love to control others, and it doesn't even really matter what the criteria is or what anyone is saying. It's just very simple. I mean, the answer. My answer here is just move to Florida. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not sure what.
I'm working on it. I saw you down there. Give me some time here. We move the company one thing at a time.
I know it's not easy. But this is these are the steps that have to be made. Not everybody can just stand up on a dime and say, okay, I'm leaving. But everyone can begin that conversation, at least in their minds and with their families, and figure out, I want to be where I'm surrounded by people who don't hate me, who don't want to, make me a prisoner of these absurd mask mandates, and it's just better here in every way. And you know what? This is also having a salutary effect in the sense that there are a lot of folks, millions of Americans, who didn't give a damn about politics before, and they didn't understand how it could affect their lives. And now they can. Mm-hmm. And they see that these decisions made by a Newsom versus similar decisions made by a DeSantis are worlds apart, and they really do affect their lives. And this is why this stuff means something. That's why it's important to take part in this process.
By the way, I will never say anything nice about Gavin Newsom, and I think he is Christian Bale from American Psycho, but I have a feeling he's against the LA mask thing because this has to work against him in the recall. Right. But Ron, now as the lawyer, I'm gonna let you finish up here, and I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you give me some legal advice if I walk into my supermarket without a mask and they stop me and I say, just an employee or a security guard or something, and says, put on your mask. And I say, well, actually, this is against CDC guidelines. It's against California state guidelines. I'm young and healthy, and I'm just going to walk in and buy a box of Frosted Flakes. I won't cough on anybody or kill grandma. What legal trouble could I be in at that point? Like, these mandates, what legal heft do they have?
They have as much legal heft as the supermarket, in your example, wants to give them. So if they're going to maintain a rule because they're going to maybe get pressured by the local government or because they're run by woke people or whatever the case may be, you might have to do like David Rubin and find another place to shop, because that is a private company.
Right.
So you don't have a legal right to ignore the mask mandate in a private environment. If they want to arrest you on the street, if they made an outdoor mandate, then we can talk. But we've taken we've pushed back on California pretty heavily, and they're paying a lot of legal fees to a lot of law firms, including ours, on COVID-related power grabs. But you're gonna have to choose a better supermarket.
Yeah, ironically, because of our ridiculous progressive DA here in Los Angeles, George Gascon, who was the DA in San Francisco and ruined that city, they don't arrest you right now, or they won't charge you with trespassing or resisting arrest. So I'm pretty
you can go into the
sure
supermarket and shoplift, but you can't go to the supermarket and breathe.